So today we're going to discuss why Asia Wilson and Nike hate Caitlin Clark so much. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. So, hate's a strong word. So, maybe I overstated a little bit, and I can't get into the mind of Nike or Asia Wilson more specifically. But there's definitely a strong indication it's something similar to hate.
How about dislike immensely?
Yeah, that's exactly what similar to hate is, Rob. It started when Caitlin Clark's shoe deal was announced. It started after Caitlin Clark's shoe deal was announced, and that was April 22nd, 2024. Shortly after that, Asia Wilson tweeted, "Always remember what is delayed is not denied," which is a takeoff of justice delayed is justice denied, which implicates that if a wrong is addressed within a reasonable amount of time, it's as if that wrong was not addressed at all. So
Right.
she was indicating that she didn't have a shoe deal, and that eventually she'll have justice later on. She doesn't have it now, but she may have it later on. That's how people took it. And she put that tweet out for a reason, even though she had been negotiating at that time for about a year and a half with the shoe deal. And for some reason, there was an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement between Asia Wilson and Nike. And for some reason, Caitlin Clark did not have an NDA, or at least there's no record of an NDA with Caitlin Clark. It's very strange they had an NDA for Asia Wilson, Rob, and not for Caitlin Clark. Because look what happened. Because of that, it looked like Asia Wilson wasn't getting a shoe deal, didn't have one, and Caitlin Clark suddenly got one, and it made Caitlin Clark, look bad, and people got jealous, and, like Sheila Johnson said, it's not fair. Everybody's got to have one.
No, not everybody has to have one. Sorry.
So I looked up and I said, okay, why was there an NDA for Asia Wilson? And this is the answer I got. Asia Wilson maintained confidentiality about her Nike signature shoe, the A1, for nearly 2 years, even keeping it a secret from her parents until the day before its official review. This level of secrecy is common in the industry to protect proprietary designs, marketing strategies, and to build anticipation leading up to the product launch. Now, I don't think it is really necessary because they didn't do that with Caitlin Clark.
No,
so that's just the reason I'm getting online.
What's this big secret about the design of a shoe? And I mean, what Adidas is going to copy her, or what was the big deal? That's so strange. That's really strange.
While specific details about a non-disclosure agreement NDA between Wilson and Nike have not been discussed publicly, such agreements are standard practice in endorsement deals to ensure all parties remain confidentiality until an official announcement is made. All right. So I still don't understand why it has to be confidential. They didn't do that with other people sometimes.
What's the confidential thing? Like, well, don't tell anybody that we're getting the shoe deal for you.
Right. And supposedly she didn't even let her parents know. She said, once you let your family know, they're going to want to know everything, and then you can't give them everything. So it's a secret I had to keep from them. Oh, you just say, I got a shoe deal. It's going to be, I'm negotiating right now, but I can't tell you the details. I don't know that many details. That's all you have to say.
Which she didn't. Yeah, she didn't know. Exactly. It was this big, I can't tell you, but I got something going on here. Okay.
Right. But she implied that she wasn't getting a shoe deal in Caitlin Clark, and it wasn't fair. So people attacked Caitlin Clark. And she allowed it to happen, Rob, for 19 days before she said, oh, by the way, I have a shoe deal too. I've been negotiating for over a year. She let it fester for 19 days, Rob, before she stopped some of the criticism against Caitlin Clark. She did that on purpose.
Of course. Oh, by the by, hey, I actually do have a shoe deal in the makings. Gee, I totally forgot.
And now she said it's been 2 years. So people said, LOL, 2 years, and she acted like a victim. Also, Cece got harassed because of that tweet. And another person said, am I supposed to be happy for her? She pretended to vent about Caitlin getting hers when all the while she knew. That's dishonest and total BS. And another person said, Nothing is authentic about this woman. And I agree with all those.
I like that. I like the last one. I agree with the last one. I totally
She's a
agree
phony. She is. She's a phony, Rob. She really is. But it's unfortunate that she did this. And I think it was on purpose because she hates Caitlin Clark. And we know she hates Caitlin Clark and is jealous and envious of Caitlin Clark because we know what she said before about Caitlin Clark getting all this attention was a huge factor was because she was white, which it isn't. It's a small factor. And she also, put some more hate on Caitlin Clark when she said that. So it's twice she did it.
Yeah.
So there's no question in my mind she doesn't hate her. She strongly dislikes her immensely, as you said, Rob.
Right, exactly.
And there's zero question that she's jealous and envious of Caitlin Clark's attention and the amount of money that she makes, with the NIL deal and all that kind of stuff and other endorsements that she got. But she doesn't even appreciate the fact that it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, she wouldn't have some of the endorsements she has right now. She didn't get them until after Caitlin Clark started getting them.
She wouldn't be flying on a private plane. I mean, that's the whole thing with this jealousy stuff or envy stuff. It's mostly jealousy. These players so she's making more than me. Who does she think she is? And so she'll throw out, because she's white. It's the first thing out of her mouth, because she's white. No, not because she's a better player. She's a really good ball player. It's because she's white. Yet you hold back and lie and let her get prosecuted and people pick on her. That's okay. That's cool.
Well, I think it's even more important that she's an exciting player, which we're going to get to in this. So there was an article a while back by Ethan Strauss. Nike has refused the Caitlin Clark windfall. And that's what people are saying. Like, this doesn't make any sense because Nike is losing money, even though they have the contract for 8 years. And Caitlin Clark, unless she has some injury that kills her career, which is almost impossible nowadays where medical science has improved. But who knows? Some people's career were cut short in recent decades. That she got them for 8 years, but why? They could be selling shoes right now, Rob.
Yeah, they're making big money. I mean, what a bunch of. I think they're a bunch of idiots.
Of course, Paige Becker's shoe came out already, and of course, Paige has bowed down to people, but she got her shoe out already, and she got signed before she was in the WNBA, and that didn't bother anybody because she had done the ESPY speech.
It's to me, it's really idiotic, and you would think with Nike's marketing, how they do their marketing, they would see that, but unlike this, it seems like they fell into the play of the WNBA of not promoting Caitlin Clark.
I mean, it's weird because Paige was signed before Caitlin, and she's not as popular as Caitlin in September 2023, and her shoe came out in December of 2024, and it looks like Caitlin Clark isn't going to come out till 2026.
2026. Just so you know, that's so crazy. Like 2020. What are they waiting for? What are you waiting for? What?
I don't know. Asia Wilson is supposedly coming out in May 2025. They released the design a couple weeks ago, and everybody did like it. What Ethan Strauss said in his article is that based on conversations with people in the know, it indeed has something to do with WNBA MVP and Nike athlete Asia Wilson. But beyond Wilson, it's about culture at the company that's more concerned with quelling noise than making it, as Nike once used to. So there's some indication going on with that. And essentially is Nike has traded its winning message for some murky appeal to like feminism and whoever was like hot on social media in pre-2022. And that's what they did. And they got criticized. So now Nike has substituted success for failure to such a disadvantaged degree that so what happened, what they're saying is that before they had some high profile, more exciting athletes that got some more emphasis on their shoe deals. And people said, well, that's not fair. This other person's better. So now they're walking it back more than that. And they're going too far with it is what they're doing essentially.
For me, Mark, I mean, my major was business. And as you know, in business, the bottom line is to make money. I don't care what anybody else, these other people are talking about. I'm in the business of making money. I listen to the outside noise, but my job, especially with sneakers, so if someone's offended by I put my sneaker up before this other player because they're better, I wouldn't give a crap. I'm like, who cares? I'm in the line making money. I'm like they said, if this person's hot, if John Morant's hot, I'm going to put out his sneaker for him, even though he might not be better than some players. I mean, he is a great player. I'm putting out his sneaker.
Well, this whole time period is ridiculous because they put out LeBron James and Michael Jordan's in 5 or 6 months, each of them. It also said that Nike is currently still locked in that trap of their own choosing. As insane as it sounds, the corporate malpractice with Clark appears to be rooted in concern about fairness and backlash from loud people on Twitter/X. It's another instant of how in the social media era, social incentives can override financial incentives. But that's crazy.
How crazy is that? That is so crazy. I'm worried about somebody's going to put on some Joe Schmo is going to put something on Twitter and me making money as a company.
I don't know. It just says, while Clark getting her own shoe is an exciting moment for women's basketball, reporting in the deal has resulted in some backlash on social media. Who cares?
Who cares? Who the hell cares? Where?
Well, they're saying people were concerned because the people with the signature shoes are white. But I'm going to tell you right now that I know that Brianna Stewart has a shoe deal, but it took her the same amount of time to get a shoe deal as Asia Wilson, and she came out with more credentials out of college than Asia Wilson did. And they had very similar careers. And it was the same amount of time it took out. It's just that Brianna Stewart came out 2 years earlier than Asia Wilson. So, just that those are very similar. Now, Kelsey Plum and Sabrina Ionescu was able to get it quicker, and that's what people are complaining about because they're both white.
This country and racially is. This is the reason why I didn't want to come back to this country in Japan. I'm like, come on, who the heck cares? Everything's about race, not about what the person's ability is or anything like that. It's always always is a factor.
So, Rob, now in this article, they went back to the fact that, being an exciting player makes a difference. It's that Asia Wilson is the best player in women's basketball, but her style is more highly accurate 15-footer than viral highlight. The idea that she deserves a shoe due to merit is on a faulty premise, given that there have been great NBA bigs whose style of play just wasn't conducive to sales. For instance, there was a time when Tim Duncan was clearly the NBA's best player, but Allen Iverson was the league's dominant sneaker salesperson. And they're both black, so it didn't make any difference about that.
Did Charles Barkley get a shoe?
I don't know whether Charles Barkley has a shoe.
I don't think he did. Not to my recollection. I don't remember him getting a shoe.
Right. Some styles of play are divorced from race, just clearly more charismatic than others. And that's all the whole theme having to do with Caitlin Clark is they can't accept that this player who happens to be white is the most exciting women's athlete in the country, in the world, the most popular female athlete in the world, and the most popular athlete in the country. They don't like the fact that a white person's doing that in a sport they're mostly black players. That's all this is.
Which really doesn't surprise me in this country. It's so strange. What does that have to do with anything? Especially with sports. Sports is definitely should be a colorblind. Now, especially now in 2025, sports right now should be a colorblind thing. Even just off the subject, they were going like, oh, there's 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. I'm like, who cares? There's 2. I'm watching 2 quarterbacks who just happen to be one's mixed and one is black. Who cares? I want to see a football game. I don't really care what color, whatever. It's so strange, this country.
I'm flabbergasted, Rob, that their stock is down 30% over the last year. They fired their CEO around 6 months ago, and still nothing has changed. So it wasn't the old CEO. This new CEO did the same thing. I thought it was going to change. It didn't. And I don't know what to say, but they don't even want to put commercials out and promote Caitlin Clark. When they signed LeBron, they put out a commercial right away with Bernie Mac that was real popular. They didn't do that with Caitlin Clark.
Mark, I don't buy. That's part of the reason why I don't even buy Nike. I'm not a Nike person. I have nothing in my shoes, whatever my sportswear. Nothing has Nike on it.
Right. So then it went at the very end. It says if you're a Nike shareholder, it's got to be aggravating. Yes, because it's lost 30%. Money. Just think, Mark. Just think of the. Oh.
There's free money on the ground, Robin.
and nobody wants to pick it up.
It's right there. It's right there in front of you.
Well, and then it says, luckily for Nike, they've got Clark for 8 more years. While they've rejected the most obvious play in sports business history so far, they have plenty of time to do the obvious. All that's required is a rejection of social media noise in favor of public demand.
How long does it take to make a damn sneaker? Really? Design it, make it, and get it out.
Okay, so my question that I have, Rob, with all this is, why is it okay for them to get backlash from Caitlin Clark fans, but not from A'ja Wilson fans?
Exactly.
What's different about them other than their skin color?
That's the deal. You just answered your question, Mark.
So basically, Nike's saying it's okay for us to shortchange the white athlete, but it wasn't okay for us to shortchange the black athlete.
Because we're afraid of the backlash or the blacklash. The backlash. I call it
so there's a different standard. There's a different standard on whether or not there can be backlash for the athlete dependent. That seems racist to me.
Yeah, that's why I said it's blacklash, not even backlash. Come on. Well, that's it. They won't buy our sneakers now because most black people supposedly buy sneakers. No other color buys sneakers besides blacks. It's like, oh gosh.
Well.
Anyway, Mark, I don't know. I'll use one of your things. I don't know what to say.
There was another article that Larry Brown had. He talked about the backlash about Clark's popularity and that people were upset about that. And he said, those are the same people who attack Clark on the court with cleat. God damn it. Anyways, wait a minute. All right. So on Larry Brown Sports, Larry Brown wrote this, Rob. And he said there's speculation that Nike fears backlash from the crowd that is upset over Clark's popularity. There are plenty of people around the WNBA who are jealous of Clark and her popularity. Those are the same people who attack Clark on the court with cheap shots, left Clark off the Olympic team, and those are the media and fans who dislike her. And 2, there's speculation that Nike fears upsetting A'ja Wilson, the reigning WNBA MVP. There apparently is a narrative that Wilson is in line to get his signature. Okay, forget about that. So I don't understand why they fear upsetting A'ja Wilson, who makes him 1/10 the amount of money that Caitlin Clark will, but not fear upsetting Caitlin Clark. I can't wrap my head around that.
No, like I said, I'm going to use another one of your words, flabbergasted. It's I don't understand it. I don't get it. So I really don't get it. I thought, like I said, I thought you're in a business. I mean, as a business, you're trying to make money. No matter what hurt feelings or whatever people say, I'm in the line to make money. So,
and it doesn't matter how much Nike promotes A'ja Wilson, or wants to make her the story. People want Caitlin Clark, and they want to buy her shoes. That's the bottom line. Right. You can't make people want to buy A'ja Wilson's shoes.
Yeah.
And they could have put her shoe out. Fine. I don't have a problem putting A'ja Wilson's shoe up first. But first of all, why did it take over 2.5? It's going to take, by the time her shoe comes out, it's going to be 2.5 years. 2.5 years from negotiation to the shoe? That's insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It takes that long to do a shoe.
Okay, so that should have come out. Her shoe should have come out 1.5 years ago. Let's put that aside, and then we wouldn't be worried about this because her shoe would have come out first, and Caitlin Clark wouldn't even been signed by the time her shoe came out.
Right.
Bottom line is people want to buy Caitlin Clark's shoe, so just put it out and quit pretending she's not popular.
Just put it out there. It's okay, really, Nike. It's okay.
It's okay for you to make a profit.
It's okay, really. Yeah, it's okay to make money, really.
No one's going to fault you for that. It's okay to make money off Caitlin Clark. She's not going to be upset.
How dare they? Wow.
But I don't understand. Josh, if I was Caitlin Clark, I'd be upset because I know it's an 8-year contract. If I was selling shoes for 7.5 years instead of for 5 years, I'd be making a lot more money because she gets a percentage of each shoe sale. So she must be ticked off about this, but of course she's taking the high road again.
Yeah.
And this is ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense. Does not make sense.
It is the most
baffling.
bewildering.
Yeah, bewildering, baffling, all superlatives. Yeah.
Business move in the history of sports, Rob.
Right.
And now I'm finding it funny. But Asia Wilson's not a good person, and Nike is just dumb. That's my summary. Let us know what you think down below.
You're backing the wrong horse. You're backing the wrong horse.
Let us know what you think down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. You can join us for our live show every Monday, 6 to 8 Eastern time, except for major holidays, and you call in for the show. So it's pretty cool. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make Rob happy.
You don't want to have any backlash now. You don't want
to. You do. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.